All right, good morning, everyone. This is Bram for Unit 4, and I actually really enjoyed this week's book, and the works that come with it. This reminds me of a lot of the art history classes that I took back in community college, particularly the information about the architecture and the paintings and the artwork and so forth, all of that. I actually want to preface this video with saying I didn't end up watching the videos that were posted for this unit until after I wrote the actual writing assignment, so that probably would have helped my understanding of the actual book, because it was a little bit challenging at first, not having an introduction or conclusion to sort of introduce the material to me. So I sort of had to learn as I went along, and I faced some challenges in understanding the differences between like the Gothic and the Romanesque period that Dr. Mays explained really well in the videos. But anyway, moving on to the question of like what examples can I think of how humans have created space and would so that it would draw similarities or contrasts and help sharpen our understanding of those who lived in the High Middle Ages. So when I think of the Chartres Cathedral and I have the little image of the Last Judgment, I think that serves a variety of purposes. Obviously, it has a religious purpose, when an actual observer or a worshiper goes into the building and right beforehand there's the arch and they can see at the top, like Jesus making that judgment decision. It's very powerful to them. Of course, it makes them wonder or even fear of what would happen if they didn't make the right decisions, so to speak. And I think it also serves a military purpose as well. Of course, it's a very direct message that is being portrayed, and the armies of the Western Christian faiths would more than likely want to defend these types of buildings, these types of monuments or whatever. And then of course there's the Romanesque horizontal and thick churches that were built in order to sort of defend against potential raids that they had previously faced, as well as the Gothic cathedrals that were built that were very tall and pointed and so forth. And I think that was very interesting. As far as contemporary times, modern day, I think the one monument that I would think of that would be most relevant to what I am interested in would be the Lincoln Memorial. The Lincoln Memorial, of course, it's very tall. You have to walk up the stairs to get there, and then of course you see a statue of Lincoln sitting, and he's very a very dominant figure, and he's just looking down, or I guess looking sort of straight down. And so you're meant to see him at a level of power. And of course, as far as civil rights is concerned, that's one monument that has been that a lot of civil rights activists have gone to, from when it was created to the civil rights movement back in the 1950s and 60s, where Martin Luther King gave his "I Have a Dream" speech, and then of course now, 57 years later, with the Black Lives Matter movement and how they have, protested and shown their attention to the Lincoln Memorial. It has a lot of civil rights purposes. So that's how I sort of interpret the purpose of buildings now. It sort of not just symbolizes the people, but it symbolizes what people value and how they interpret the society that they live in.